The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Freshman Focus, a look at 2-year-olds in training across the Buckeye State. Freshman Focus is presented by Eldorado Scioto Downs, now racing Tuesday through Saturday, post time 5:45. By Sugar Valley Farm. Looking for your next quality standardbred racehorse? Look no further than Sugar Valley Farm in Delaware, Ohio. By Prolific Equine, managing stallions and mares to create champions. By the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center, caring down to a science. And by Wire to Wire Wealth, strategies tailored to your needs.
Welcome to another edition of Freshman Focus. We've made the trip to the training facility of trainer Jeff Smith, located on Route 48 north of Lebanon, Ohio, to talk with Jeff about his Ohio breds in training. After this message, we'll have our sit-down interview with Jeff Smith.
Racing is back at Eldorado Scioto Downs. Catch the excitement all summer long. Live racing every Tuesday through Saturday nights. First race post time is 5:45. Mark your calendar to see the future stars with a $150,000 Next Generation on July 5th. Thrilling harness racing at Eldorado Scioto Downs. Horse players can earn points with the Caesars Reward Program. Eldorado Scioto Downs. Live racing is back.
Welcome back to Freshman Focus, our sit-down interview with trainer Jeff Smith. Jeff, your stable has grown in size, to say the least. You've been here, what, 2 years?
2 years.
At Washington Courthouse, what's the largest that you had?
Probably around 25, 26.
Now here at this facility, quite a bit more.
Yeah, we're up to 60 right now.
Is it harder on a trainer dealing with 60 horses or compared to 25?
There's a lot more work to it and trying to find the help and everything like that, but really it's not as bad.
Yeah. This is a family operation, it seems. A lot of family members. Of course, your wife Kathy, she was Hanners, of course. And then you got the Smith family, and you got Trevor, you got Tyler working for you, Alicia, a number of others, family members. It's nice to work around family, though, isn't it?
I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason I really am doing it now, and I enjoy it because of the family and everything, and I just think family is what it's all about.
Yeah. Now, you're strictly a trainer now, but when you started out, you're a pretty fair to meddling driver as well. You have any idea how many career wins you've had driving?
They said 992, I think it was, something like that.
982.
82.
Yeah. Did you like driving?
I enjoyed it back then, but now I just leave everything up to the boys. I'm getting to the age that, I do enjoy going out, and I don't mind qualifying every so often, but.
Back in those days, 982 wins, earnings of $2,700,000. Purses were not then what they are now.
Oh, not near as good as they are now.
Yeah.
And back then, you didn't have of course, there wasn't a lot of catch drivers then. You just had basically your own horses that you trained and drove, so.
I hate to admit this, and I haven't said it too many publicly, but I've always said the worst thing that ever happened to harness racing was catch drivers.
Yep. I agree.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Even though both of your sons are quite good catch drivers.
Yeah. But I think the catch driving has made the industry a lot different.
And of course, as a trainer, it shows that you've got, I think, 1,008 training wins, but you and I both know, since they didn't start keeping records until 1991, you probably got another 100, 150 wins on top of that.
Yeah. It makes it nice, but I mean, I couldn't do it without the, like I say, the family and everything else. So,
how many total employees you probably got?
probably right now we got around 18.
And those are very important to any trainer, aren't they?
I think your employees is your main. I think the horses are made in the barn. Mm-hmm. I really do. I think, you know, you got to have good help, and as long as they're getting taken care of good in the barn and stuff, you know, I think that's where the horses are made.
Yeah. You know, lost my train of thought with the invasion of the dogs here, but anyway, with those extra wins and such, as a trainer, your stable, I think, is over $11 million. And the years of 22, 23, and 24 were the best years as a trainer, and that's the way Ohio racing is now.
Yeah, it is. It's about time. I mean, you know, we've had a lot of years where, you know, we wasn't going for nothing.
Yeah.
And finally, we get the money in here in Ohio, and I think it's going to stay here for a while. So
it's hard to imagine. You've been training along, but and you've not always had an awful lot of starts or anything like that, where you have some trainers will have 3,000 starts and things like that. But your best year, I believe, was 2023. You won like 65 races, and your purses, the only $1 million season that you had, $1,200,000. What was the main horse? Pen, Paper, Page?
oh yeah, she's been my favorite.
Yeah.
She from day one. I've never had another horse like her, Roger. She's been super to be around. My granddaughter, she takes care of her and does her, and you know, she's just an exceptional horse.
Did she win in what was her biggest win that she had in her career?
Well, I started her out as a 2-year-old, and we didn't have her Sawyer Stakes. We kept her in the Buckeye, and she ended up winning the final in the Buckeye as a 2-year-old. Then probably her biggest win was winning the final as her 3-year-old year there at the Sawyer Stakes final.
That was at Scioto?
Scioto.
Yeah. Now, you've got 2 sons that do a lot of driving. Tyler, been in driving longer. He started in 2009. Trevor came along. He started his driving career in 2015. How does Jeff Smith determine which son to use as a driver?
It's very hard. I mean, I try to be equal to both of them because they both do a good job. You know, sometimes it doesn't work out that way, you know. Yeah, it is really, really hard, and I try to make it as fair as I can to them, and sometimes, but it doesn't work that way all the time. One might get a little mad, but overall they've both been really good, and it's just, I don't know, it's hard.
Yeah. Now, we talked about catch drivers and such. You don't consider Tyler and Trevor as catch drivers because they're with you every day training in these horses, and they're almost like being the trainer or driver of that horse.
Yeah, and it makes it nice because with me, if I can't be here or something, the help that I got, the guys I got training with me, like especially like them, I can trust them and everything, and it makes it nice.
Yeah, a lot easier.
Oh, it does.
Less headaches.
Less headaches and everything else because I don't have to worry.
Yeah.
And if something goes wrong, they're there to tell me and we can try to fix it.
I also, little birdie told me that your caretakers that work for you are very happy and they are horse oriented because you hire an individual to take care of all the feed buckets, water buckets, and clean all the stalls. Caretakers don't have to do that for Jeff Smith.
No, No, they don't. We got stall cleaners, and the stall cleaners, they'll set the feed and stuff out for every horse, and they'll do the water buckets and clean them in the feed tubs. So
Yeah.
basically the grooms, all they got to do is come in and get the horses ready and take care of them and do them afterwards.
More personal attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a big difference. I mean, when you can spend more time on the horse, I think it makes a big difference.
Now, one other thing that you've got here that have access to is this one room where you've got 3 big pieces of equipment. And I'll have to ask you, what are those pieces of equipment that you have that a lot of trainers don't have access to?
Well, the one's called an Aquas ball, and it's basically, I put all my race horses in it day before I race them and stuff. And basically what it does, it just fills up closer to the belly, and it's salt water, and it's really cold, and it circulates and stuff, and it really helps her legs and stuff like that, and it keeps them cool.
Is this a kind of a whirlpool effect?
It's type of like a whirlpool, yes.
And it does not have a treadmill in it.
No,
But-
we got another one it's called a saltwater treadmill, which they work hard in it. It comes up to their belly, and we can set it at any angle or keep it level. I normally keep it level, and they work in there for about 15 to 20 minutes on it, and it gives them a heck of a workout.
What's the advantage of the salt water?
It's supposedly, like if they're tendons or anything like that, it's supposed to take any kind of inflammation or swelling out of it and stuff, and it keeps their legs really ice cold.
Does it aid maybe to some degree that keeps them from having injuries?
I think it does.
Yeah.
You know, anything that you can do to prevent injuries, I think always helps.
Yeah. How is it as far as your track here? I know at Washington Courthouse you were basically the track man.
Yeah, and I am here. I don't like somebody working my track. I like to keep it the way I like to have cushion on it and keep it worked up and watered and stuff. So.
But at Washington Courthouse you had to do it early morning and late afternoon and
Or in the evening, because you had evening riders and stuff, and it was just always a little tougher there to do.
so you really only have to do it unless it's bad weather or something like
Yeah. Basically, all I do here when we do it in the morning, then my wife, she'll go out in between trips or in between jogging, and she'll work at some, and we water it, and then after we get done, I'll go ahead and work it for the next morning.
Kathy's very important to this operation as well.
She's my main person. I mean, she does all the putting the horses in and keeps the books and everything like that. So without her, I'd be lost.
Now, you're Ohio breds. You have 12. We're looking at 10 today. I see Down by the Seaside. I see some Catch the Fires, Volstead, Ready for Money, Enterprise, and I also see a Summa Cum Laude. Now, everybody we've talked to are really impressed with this first crop of Summa Cum Laude. What about you?
The filly, I had 2, and I lost one right after we got her broke. I wormed her, and she was full of worms, and they died in there, and we had to run her to the university because she started like colicking, and we ended up having to put her down. But I like both of them. The one I got right now I really like.
Yeah.
She's not a real big filly, but she's very athletic on the track and stuff. So
When you go to the sales to buy one, what do you look at in their pedigree?
I like looking at the stud means a lot, but I also like the dam side. I like mares that show that they've throwed, especially as the 2 and 3 year olds. You know, they've got, and basically that's about what I really look for. And I look for the confirmation too.
Do you go into a sale putting a price tag on horses that you buy?
Yeah, I try. There's times that I might go another 5,000 or 10,000 more, but I try to price them at a certain price and then go after that.
Do the owners get involved with you ahead of time with the sales?
Yeah, we talk before the sales there, and we'll set down a price, and then during the sale there, when it goes on, and if we're interested in one, we'll talk whether we should go a little bit more or not.
You've got a number of owners that have been with you for some time, but your big addition, of course, is Jeff Berger of Bet the House. He purchased this farm and training facility, and he's the big guy in your operation right now, isn't he?
Yes, he's a great guy. I mean, he never complains about anything I do. I mean, if I don't want to race one, he'll never say a word. If I want to give him some time off, I mean, and like I say, he's put a lot of money in it, and so, I mean, he's a good person to train for.
And with this facility that they recently purchased, 2 years ago or such, it makes your job a lot easier as well.
Oh, it does. It really does. And like I say, he cares about the horses, and he cares about the industry and stuff, and he's put things in here to try to help, especially me, you know, to keep the horses sounder and better.
Now this edition of Freshman Focus, we're filming it here on the final day or next to last day of April. It will air May the 8th. So the figures that we're going to give you now are end of April totals. How much have you been with your 2-year-olds?
We've been between 17 and 20 with them.
Is that about where you want to be at this time of the year?
Me especially, yes. Because, you know, we ain't got really started until June.
Yeah.
So, and like I say, when I'm saying, you know, 17 to 20 here, if I work one here around 2.9, I can normally go to the racetrack and they're ready to go around 58.
Is your training track here an all-weather track, so to speak?
Yeah, it's an all-weather track. I mean, it's actually for a farm track, it has been really good. We've not missed any days at all on it. It don't really get muddy or nothing.
Now, Ohio did have a kind of a rough winter, but you didn't have it as bad as a lot of the county fairs had it, I guess.
No, we didn't. I think maybe I might have not jogged maybe 2 days. In the 2 days we had in, and we got the equicizer out here, so I put them on it, so we didn't really lose any time.
That's it. Even if you don't take them to the track, you can work them out in the other equipment.
Yep.
Well, Jeff, we thank you for sitting down and talking with us now. And after these messages, we'll be going through the barn and taking a look at Jeff's 2-year-old Ohio breds in training after these messages on Freshman Focus.
With over 30 years of experience in wealth planning and a lifetime of involvement in harness racing, Matt Franklin at Wire to Wire Wealth can help you build a financial plan that addresses the unique circumstances of those involved in the horse racing industry. Whether you are investing to build wealth, protect your family, or preserve your assets, Matt at Wire to Wire Wealth will work with you through the wealth planning process from start to finish.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
Captain Kirk is standing his second year in 2025 here in the state of Ohio, and he's attracting some of the best broodmares in the entire industry. You want to breed to a stallion that can step your mare up. And if you're breeding to sell those foals, you have to breed to the stallion that the biggest bidders will pay a premium to acquire. Captain Kirk stands at Winterwood Farm, and his introductory stud fee of only $3,000 ends after the 2025 season. So book your mare today. Write down this website. Go to CaptainKirkInfo.com to get all the details right now.
Welcome back to Freshman Focus. As we're going to go through the barn and take a look at the Ohio bred 2-year-olds for Jeff Smith. Jeff, this is 1-5 by Down by the Seaside out of dismissal by Western Terror, and for one reason or another, there's a distinct relative to this one.
Yeah, he's a full brother to By the Missile, and we got high hopes for him. I mean, he's done everything right so far, and we've been a mile around 17 with him, so hopefully he'll be as good as him, but you never know.
Now, we didn't take him to the track today because he's running a slight fever, but it's nothing serious.
It's nothing serious, no. We just didn't take him out because he'd been carrying a temperature and we got it down. So we want to give him another day or two before we start back with him.
What kind of a price tag do you have to pay on this one?
We paid $210,000 for him. So
He had to be one of the biggies of the sale.
yeah, he was one of them.
Were you at the stage where you were going higher?
He was going to go probably to 250 on him. But he probably would have went to 300, but I'm going to say we was planning on at least going to 250 on him.
Now, this is Bet the House.
Yep, at the house.
Okay. And why do you think the price wasn't what you thought it was going to be?
I thought he was going to bring more for the simple fact. The only reason I think he didn't, in my opinion, was because he wasn't dual eligible. You know, the ones that was dual eligible was bringing a lot more money, and being he wasn't dual eligible to Kentucky, that's the reason I think he didn't bring the price that I thought he was going to bring.
So strictly Ohio bred, but
Yeah.
with the purses in Ohio, you can still
So
make
yeah,
it
we
for-
can still, we'll still be all right.
he does everything right?
So far, he's done everything right. Like I said, we've been a mile and 17 with him, and just hope that he stays sound and everything goes good.
And he's still a colt.
He's
no
still a
problems
colt.
in that
No,
respect?
he's not studdish or nothing. And
Yeah.
So
I actually did the opening or the closing of today's broadcast with him, and he's almost like a barn pet.
oh yeah, Alicia's got him a pet.
Yeah. This is 1-5 by Down by the Seaside. This is the gelding, Catch My Dragon by Catch the Fire out of Prima Dragon by Dragon Again. I see this was a gelding. Why did that take place?
He was an originally, so we had to end up cutting him.
Was he getting sore or what?
He started showing a little bit of soreness in the back end there, and then I had Barry Carter look at him. He thought it was best that we go ahead and get him cut as quick as possible.
When you did cut him, make him a gelding, is it an immediate personality change?
Now on him, it took a couple weeks for him to start
Working in your system?
working and having his manners a little bit better.
Yeah. How much time do you lose when you've already been
I
trained?
basically, after they cut him the next day, we go right into jogging them, and that way it keeps the swelling and stuff down and keeps it draining. And then I normally wait 10 days before I train him back.
Now, is he training right along with your best ones?
He's right along with the best ones. He's been a mile and 17 too, and so far he's doing everything right. So
What's the principal difference? Because those seem like to be the two stallions that are kind of dominating more Catch the Fire and Down by the Seaside. Do you notice a big difference between those two?
yeah, I really do. I think right now, Down by the Seasides are a little bit, I hate to say it, but I think they're a little bit better right now. But I think eventually Catch the Fire will. I think the Catch the Fires will be all right. I really like them. That's the reason I bred to them, and so
Does he do everything right on the track?
he does everything right. He got a good way of going. He's a little lazy yet, but like I say, that mare, a lot of them out of her, they get a little hot, so that doesn't really bother me right now.
Now, have you been able to put your horses in behind a starting gate or anything like that yet?
I have not, but with the equicizer and stuff, I've not had no problem with any of them going right to the gate.
Okay. This is the Catch the Fire, Catch My Dragon. This is Moonshine Money Man by Ready for Money out of VV by Valley Victor. You don't have too many trotters, do you?
I've got more pacers this year than I do trotters. I got about maybe 10 trotters, and but I ain't got very many hybrids. I only got
Yeah.
a couple hybrids.
Do you have a preference as a trainer? Would you rather train a whole pacing stable or a whole trotting
I'd
stable?
rather have the trotters.
Why is that?
I just think the trotters, you ain't got to go as much and as hard. But anymore though, the trotters got to go as much as the pacers do. But I like the trotters.
Well, it's still a little difference. I always have said you can have a real good pacer and finish 5th, 6th, and 7th. If you have a really good trotter, they're going to be up there towards the
If you
front
got a
end.
trotter that'll stay trotting, you're going to make money.
Yeah. Does this one stay trotting?
Yeah, he's been a mile in 19 and he stayed at it. So
Now, is that intentional that you don't go as fast with the trotters as the pacers?
yeah, I normally go a little bit more with the pacers than I do the trotters because a lot of times some of the trotters it takes a little bit more time for them to mature and gait up.
Do you have basically the same schedule as the others? Qualify in late June and get into the races July?
Yep.
Anything for the next generation?
I've got some that I might. I've got a couple that I might try. I haven't really decided. Because I've seen a lot of horses, that win a new generation that's never there in the final of the Sire Stakes. So I'm from the old school. I like trying to bring mine a little bit later on and having them ready by the end of the year instead of the first of the year.
Of course, the Sire Stakes, they can begin almost right after.
Right after that, I know. Then here you go, you got a young horse that you got to be qualified for the new generation. Then the next week you're in the new generation, then the following week you got to go right back into the Sire Stakes. So you're putting them on their toes like 3 weeks in a row, kind of hard. And
Now, is he a clean trotter, or you got boots on him, or what?
the only thing he wears is a set of trotting boots and a set of bell boots.
Well gated?
Yeah, he's real good gated.
Even the well gated ones, do they ever make breaks?
Oh yeah, they make breaks at times.
Is that just the nature of the game that they learn just like a baby walking?
Oh yeah, there's times that we'll go out there and they'll make a mistake, but overall here lately he's been staying at it consistently. So
Do you find that horses change drastically when they get in behind the starting gate and they get to real competition?
oh yeah, I definitely do. That's when you know where you got a good one or you don't, I think.
Leading up to that point, they're all kind of good for you, but then
Yeah.
you find out with the qualifier.
Yeah, with the qualifier, which ones that really want to do it and got the heart to do it, and they all right now has got speed, and most of them, the way they're bred and stuff now, they all got speed and stuff. It's just whether they got the will to do it and want to do it. So
This is Moonshine Money Man by Ready for Money. This is the filly pacer Angel's Secret by Summa Cum Laude out of Angel's Scent by Western Ideal. This is a filly. We've looked at colts and geldings. Do you have a preference, fillies or over the colts, or
I'd rather have the colts.
why?
The fillies most of the time because they're always horsing and you got to give them female shots all the time and stuff. But for the colts, you don't have to worry about that.
How's she been on the racetrack?
She's been really, really good. She's not a real big filly, but she's really good gated. And we've been a mile and 17 with her. And she's doing everything right now. She can get a little hot at times, but
Are you leery of the first stud season of horses?
not really. I don't mind trying the first studs for the first year. I don't like paying a whole lot of money until they actually can prove themselves, but
Usually the first crop comes in a lower price to
Yeah.
begin with.
yeah.
Then once they've raced a season, then the price
Then the
seems
price
to go
really
up.
goes up there in account at all.
Yeah, or go down. Hopefully
they go up.
up.
Yeah.
How about out on the racetrack?
She is, she's really good mannered. She, like I say, at times she can get a little hot with us. We've been having to just set her in there, but she's gotten really good. She's good gated, and she loves doing her work.
When they get a little hot, is there anything that you can do to cool them down?
Well, we put plugs on her and stuff, and we just been trying to set her in and not pulling her till late, and she's starting to relax a little bit now. Of course, we jog 4 or 5 together, and we keep her right in the middle of everybody, so that helps a lot too.
teach them new tricks of the trade, and hopefully they'll get used to it.
Used to it, yeah.
How much you been with her?
We've been a mile and 17 with her.
Have you been in 17 with all your two
I've been
races?
about 17 with all my pacers and around between 19 and 20 with the trotters.
When you're training down, is it important that you train where they're comfortable with, or do you
I
tend to
try
make
to
them go faster?
We try to go what they're really comfortable at, and not try to stress them. I don't want to stress them any.
Why wouldn't you want to stretch them out? Is it just too early in their career?
I think it's too early, and I think you create problems and lameness if you make them go more than what they're capable of going right then.
Any problems with this?
No, we've had no problem with her so far.
And the other one you quit with because of problems and such, but this one you're impressed with.
Yeah. Right now, keep our fingers crossed.
This is Angel Secret by Summa Cum Laude. This is the Philly Pacer Tippin' Tequila by Down by the Seaside out of No Tippin' Pippin by Betting Line. That's an original name, I would guess, Tippin' Tequila.
Yeah. I like that name.
Yeah. Have you changed names on horses very often?
Jeff likes to change them on a few of them, but not very many I normally change.
Basically, they always said sometimes it's bad luck to
I think it is, but he's changed some of them. We got one here that we're going to interview here that he changed the name on him.
Yeah. So, Tippin' Tequila, how's it been doing?
She's been a mile and 17. She's really good gaited, and she gets a little hot though. She's probably the one of mine that's got a little bit more hotness than I really like. But Trevor's been taking her here lately and been setting her in. She's starting to relax a little bit more and stuff.
With Trevor and Tyler working with you, and you yourself, do you try to mix them up though when you go on training miles?
Every training sets we go in sets of 4. Mike will take one, me, then Tyler and Trevor, and each training set will switch different horses. Mm-hmm. Trevor but I've been keeping Trevor on her for the simple fact is because he gets along with her good, and he's been getting her to relax and stuff. So normally he takes her most of the time, but normally we'll switch off, and everybody will take a different one each time.
So this will probably be one of those that you'll put Trevor down to drive in the qualifiers.
Oh
and
yeah,
the
Trevor will
races.
probably be driving her for sure.
Any problems with Tippin' Tequila?
No, other than like I say, being a little bit hot-headed, but
So the tequila doesn't hurt the horses. It might hurt the guys a bit,
but don't hurt her no.
you're very happy with this one.
Yes.
This is Tippin' Tequila by Down by the Seaside. This is Indigo Station by Down by the Seaside out of Intra Hanover by Betting Line. Now, when you sent me the list of 2-year-olds, you led off with Indigo Station. Is he your best shot?
As of right now, I think he's my best one right now.
I noticed he's also pretty large.
Yeah, he's a big colt. Good gaited colt for his size too, and get through the turns really good. And got a great attitude. He loves doing his work. He's a little ornery. We still got him as a colt, but he likes to bite and stuff. But he's not been really mean or nothing, so that's the reason I've kept him a stud.
Thinking ahead, maybe even a stud career, or if he's his best shot,
Well, I don't know about that, but
time will tell.
yeah.
And now, if he's your best shot, you think, and then we know it's early and such, so we won't hold you to it so much. What makes you feel that way?
Just by his attitude out on the racetrack and the way he travels and stuff, and he just gets over it. For as big as he is, he gets over the ground so easy. Mm-hmm. I mean, when Trevor trained him the other day there, he had him, and he went a mile, and we might have went a mile and 16 apiece with him instead of 17 there, but he was just, he was under wraps. He just,
And he's
Like-
not hot.
No, and that's one good thing about it. For
Yeah.
Seaside, he's got really a great head on him.
And he is a classic Seaside because I can remember even the first crop and going back to those, they all had real good size to them.
Yeah. Yeah, now he's a lot bigger than my 1.5 horse. But like I say, he's one of my favorites.
Do you ever get leery at the sales though about a big horse?
You know, all the Grand Circuit people, they love big horses. I mean, that's all they go for. They don't really go for a smaller horse. And size don't really bother me. I mean, I watch him out in the field and stuff, and like I say, for his size, he gets over a half really good. And my one turn up there's a little sharp, and he has no trouble with it at all.
So he's not going to have any trouble with Northfield
No,
or Delaware
no.
or anything like that.
No,
Clean gated,
really clean graded. All he wears is just the hobbles.
no additional equipment or anything like shoeing or.
No,
Well, maybe it's your dream come true.
I hope.
This is Indigo Station by Down by the Seaside. This is the Gelding Trotter 11 Bang Bang by Enterprise out of I'm Extra Spatial by Muscle Mass. Is he extra spatial?
Now, he's got a good way of trotting and does everything right. This is Trevor's probably favorite. So it is.
Trevor likes trotters though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he likes the trotters. This is his favorite. This is the one he likes the best.
Now I see he's a gelding.
Yeah,
What was the
he was
problem?
he was a little bit ornery, so we ended up cutting him.
So when he's a little bit ornery, is the
Yeah.
time to do it.
Well, I just thought it'd be best to cut him because he's getting a little bit
Do you
raunchy, and I didn't want to get the help hurt.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Because you got to think of your caretakers as well.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. How about out on the racetrack?
He's really good mannered. Got, like I say, he's got a good way of trotting. Just wears a set of trotting boots, and right now he's been a mile and 19 and doing it good.
He's not as big as the other one we looked at, but he's got good
He's got a
size
decent
in him.
size, yeah.
Is it important though that a trotter have good size?
I like a horse with a little bit of size to him, the trotters, but I like the length. I want them longer than I do taller. That way I think you got a better shot of them not interfering.
What's the importance of good length?
I think if a horse is longer than he is taller, I think you got a better shot of him not interfering in behind and stuff.
So that's one of the things you look at when they
Yep.
come into that sales room.
Well, my one owner, he's got a measuring stick. So what we basically do, it looks like almost like a cane. And what it does, it's got a thing, we'll set it down on the ground, we'll measure up to his withers here. And then we'll measure from his chest back to his butt.
In the years that we've done Freshman Focus, you are the first to ever mention the length of a horse.
Yeah. I've always had better luck with the trotters by doing that.
Billy Houghton used to say he looks at a horse's wind area underneath their head.
Yep.
That was always his principal thing outside of conformation and such, but a good breathing. Do you ever check that out on a horse?
Oh yeah, I always go underneath to make sure that their air
Yeah.
passage are.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things you have to do, and it's important to see the horses before they go into that sales
Yeah.
ring.
And I'll tell you another thing I've been doing here, well, at least I did this year, is the ones that I'm really interested in, I try to get them x-rayed before we go and buy them.
Even before the sale.
Yep, we'll x-ray them.
Farms will let you do that.
A lot of the farms will let you do it.
Some farms do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. How about out on the racetrack?
He's really good mannered and like I say, really good gaited. And
Yeah.
he likes doing his work, so that's the main thing.
Has he been right at 19?
Been a mile right at 19. We'll probably drop him a little bit Saturday there. We'll probably go around 16 or 17 with him.
So when we air this on May the 8th, he's probably been down 16.
Yeah, around 16 there,
Yeah.
hopefully.
So this is living up to expectations.
So far.
This is 11 Bang Bang by Enterprise. This is the gelding pacer Spanky McGee by Catch the Fire out of Off to Win, out of Tell It Like It Is, a former winner of the Little Brown Jug. Spanky McGee, I wonder if you say they changed this was his name?
Yeah, his name used to be, well, when we bought him from the sale, it was Fire Off, and he changed his name to Spanky McGee.
I just wonder if that was because of the old Our Gang comedy series back in the 50s and 60s. One of the kids' names was Spanky.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he named him that, but it's kind of growed on me. At first, I wasn't sure about whether I liked it or not, but kind of now I kind of like it.
You say this one is a classic Catch by the Fire.
I think he looks a lot like his daddy. I really do. I was like when, like I said, when his daddy was 2 and stuff, he was down at courthouse there, and when Johnny was training and stuff, he looked about like him. Wasn't really big, wasn't real big or nothing, but and this colt kind of goes, I think, goes like him.
So maybe it's carries over.
I hope so.
He is a gelding. Any particular reason?
No, I tell you the truth, I like geldings better than I do, especially like I said, because of the grooms and stuff. And I try to gild about all mine. The only 2, like I said, I haven't gilded is the Bida Missiles brother and Indigo Station. But the rest of mine's been gildings.
Do you check with your owners about gelding horses?
Oh yeah, I check with every one of them, and we discuss it, and then they let me know if they want to go ahead and do it or not, which Jeff Berger didn't really want to cut 1.5 or Indigo unless we absolutely had to, so we're keeping them as studs right now. But everybody else normally agrees about cutting them.
Yeah, and I'm sure that the reason they do want to keep them as a stud is they do have high hopes for them. And
exactly.
I think everybody can understand that unless they just need it to even get to the races or something like that. Has he been going with the others?
He's been really good. Like I say, he's probably got the most desire and want to do it out on a racetrack than any of them I really got. I mean, he like I say, he's more like his daddy than any of them I've got because he loves doing his work. Every day he don't go out there and have a bad day. Like I say, he's not real big, but he makes up work with his heart.
Now, I noticed today when you were training your sets, you didn't train any of the Ohio breds that were featuring today. You said you wanted to spend time with me and such, and I understand that, but you switch it around between the 3 of you, and the opinions of Trevor and Tyler are very important.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I love their opinions, and I really take their opinions for what it's worth. I mean, if they tell me something, and it really makes, especially if Tyler likes one, you got to think he's going to be a good one because he don't never give any of the horses any compliments at all. Really? So he don't. And neither does Trevor really. So, but if they really like one, then I've got high hopes for them.
Yeah. You ever have the boys disagree on a horse?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Quite a bit.
Then what do?
I really don't know.
Go to the old man.
Yeah.
66 years old.
Yep.
Loving every minute of it still.
Oh, yep. Better believe it.
You know, you see these trainers, a lot of them we talk to, and stuff. The fact that you love what you do really comes out when you talk to Jeff Smith.
Yeah, I love the horse, but like I say, Roger, I wouldn't love it as much if it wasn't for the family.
Yeah, no question. That's what it's all about.
Yes,
when it
is.
comes down to it.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So this is Spanky McGee by Catch the Fire. This is the Philly Pacer Deep Satin by Down by the Seaside out of Rewind Again by Dragon Again. Another Down by the Seaside, but not a monstrous horse.
No, she's decent sized, but she's not overly big.
Mm-hmm. How is she out on the track?
Well, when I first started with her, she was a little tough. She was tough to break, and then, but she's gotten a lot better, and she's got her quirks to her. If there's a mud puddle or something, you have a heck of a time getting her to go buy it. But out on the track, she's got really good manners, and she's been a mile, like I say, in 17, and does it really good gated. But like at times, like I say, she's not hot-headed or nothing, but she can be a little bit tough.
You know, we ran into some trainers in past years that use the Amish to break their horses. Have you ever gone that route?
I've done that only on one.
Yeah.
And that was a few years back. I had one that just would not, I couldn't get her to go at all. I mean, she'd just stand there and we'd be there for hours, and she just would never go, would never move.
How'd they do?
I don't know what they done to her, but they did get her to go.
So
I never really asked.
Yeah, so you never really going back to using that one.
No.
Being at your own facility, though, it's much easier to break the horses, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It makes it a lot nicer. And I like breaking my own because I like for them to, when I say whoa, I want them to stop.
How fast after getting them from the sale do you start breaking them? Right away?
I normally start breaking them right away.
Now, have you found that horses you purchased at the sale are kind of, they're broke fairly well without the jog cart and such?
Yeah,
but
they're a lot easier to break.
Yeah,
Tons way easier to break now than they used to be back years ago.
yeah. Out on the racetrack for this one?
She's, like I say, she's really good mannered. She's not like most of Seaside. She's level-headed, and like I say, she can go some. Her worst quirks are in, like I say, in the barn, like walking to the bath stall and stuff like that. You got to get behind her. And well, when we bought her from the sale, to get her in the sales ring, they had a squirt bottle in behind her to get her to go in the sales ring.
Really?
Oh yeah. And that's the way she was when we first broke her. She was a little tough.
Were you able to see this one at the farm, or?
Yeah, we went and looked at her, and I really liked her there. And Josh Green raised her and stuff, and I talked to him about her, and he really liked her there. So,
Has she done anything wrong?
no, other than when we first started breaking her, she kind of laid down a couple times, but other than that, she's been great.
This is down by the seaside by the name of Deep Satin. This is the filly trotter Ruby's Creme Brulee. Volstead out of Wendy's Girl by Lucky Chucky. Now, you've had some Volsteads in the past, and I think you've been quoted as saying you'd never have another Volstead.
Yep,
you
I
didn't
was.
have any luck whatsoever. You've got another Volstead.
Well, the only reason I do this one here, my owner and a guy from Australia, they was talking in there, and the guy from Australia really liked Volsteads. He said they was really good over there, but the two Volsteads I had last year, both was colts. And I did not like either one of them. And the Volsteads, all the ones that's been good has been fillies. So he talked me into, said, let's just try her, and we'll buy her and we'll try her. And so that's what we done. So far, I mean, I do like her. She's really good gated and does everything right now. We've been a mile and 19 with her. And so I'm just hoping that the filly comes out instead of the colts in the Volstead.
How much do you have to pay for her?
We paid, I think, $22,000. I think we paid for her.
Now she's changed her mind a little, but the only thing that's changed is really the fact that it's filly. And if I remember correctly, Ronnie Gillespie said he also preferred the fillies. Of course, he's the one that broke and had Sugar Instead early on. He said that it was the best trotter he ever sat behind and training and everything.
And she showed it.
Yeah,
Yes, she did.
And I think a lot of people go to Volstead because of
Yep.
Sugar Instead.
Yep, they do. Yeah, the two best ones that year was Sugar Instead and Jurassic Hattie, and both of them was fillies.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see any colts that was any count at all.
Well, you know, even in the old days, some of the top stallions we had in the 60s and the 70s, some of them became great stallions because of their fillies.
Yep. That's another thing I like to see in the sire. I like for them when I go to a sire, I like for the sire to show it don't matter if you get a colt or you get a filly. Oh, I
Been
know.
in 19 with her like the others and stuff.
Yeah.
Was she hard to break?
No, she really wasn't hard to break. She really wasn't.
So this is totally different.
Yeah, so far I'm keeping my fingers crossed because we've been in an argument on whether she'll be in any count or not. So the owner thinks she will, and I think she will too. But I just the guy from Australia, I like busting his, you know what. So
Well, remember this name, and it's I think may be a good one. And she's a filly by Volstead. This is Ruby's Creme Brulee. Well, that wraps up another edition of Freshman Focus. I'd like to thank Jeff Smith and his entire crew for making our job very easy this morning. Join us again next week, same time, same location for Freshman Focus.
This has been Freshman Focus, a look at 2-year-olds in training across the Buckeye State. Freshman Focus is presented by Eldorado Scioto Downs. Racing begins May 8th with the next generation July 5th. By Sugar Valley Farm. Looking for your next quality standardbred racehorse? Look no further than Sugar Valley Farm in Delaware, Ohio. By Prolific Equine, managing stallions and mares to create champions. By the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center, caring down to a science. And by Wire to Wire Wealth, strategies tailored to your needs. Freshman Focus is a production of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.